Alrighty, so we're out at Ardmore today. We're running a fairly quick loop, which is really cool. So Brett wanted to see a bit of a review on the bike that I ride. It's 2020 Yamaha YZ250FX. It's got 246 hours on it, so yeah, just getting worn in. I think it's had 2 rebuilds done. Alrighty, so anyway, carrying on from where I was. So yeah, 246 hours on it at the moment. I think two full rebuilds, because the first time round it had something go wrong in the lower end, and the second one was at 220 and that was just top end. Turns out the cam actually had sort of marks or indents in it. Got that replaced, which was nice and expensive, but she's running mint since. Things I like about it: it's a cross-country bike, it'll do everything and anything. Gearbox is really nice because it's wide ratio, so first is super low, 6 is super tall, so you can do nice tight enduro stuff, as well as absolute wide opens at 140 km/h stuff if you're fat ballsy. Alright, to give you a bit of an idea, this is how low first gear goes. Literally do not need the clutch. It is obviously a Yamaha, so really bloody loud, and in my case I'm actually wearing earplugs now because this earbox is so loud that it does kind of damage my hearing a bit. Yeah, absolutely love the mapping. I can kind of set it how I want it. At the moment I got the throttle really twitchy. You can also kind of control how much engine braking these things have through the mapping, which can be both a positive and a negative. If you're riding really slippery clay, you don't really want any engine braking. And likewise, if you are riding really steep terrain, you can kind of crank it up a bit if you really want to. What are some other things? Obviously being cross-country, larger tank. Tank goes all the way down into there. Haven't ever really had any issues with this. One time I did deliberately try running it out of fuel. The fuel light didn't come on. Don't know what that was about, but I think roughly from the very top of the tank to about there, it's about 2 hours worth of sort of moderately fast riding. Oh, I think I might be out of fuel. That or I grenaded the fucking motor, one of the two. Obviously she is a bit heavier than the F model. I think full tank of gas on this, you're looking at 111 kgs, which is fine for most stuff. Probably a little bit heavy for enduro, but just man up. I have added the optional radiator fan. Just really helps keep the bike cool. Not that I have too many issues with it overheating. It does, because of that extra weight, yeah, the brakes kind of suck, as most people say they do. I think realistically just put some race pads in, and I haven't done it yet, but steel braided lines help big time. Yeah, for cross country it's absolutely amazing. The extra weight, having that 18-inch red bar really slants the back end of this bike, which is both a good and a bad thing. If you're absolutely hauling ass across like tree roots and stuff, absolutely excellent because it doesn't deflect. A little bit harder to ride on an actual MX track like today. It's purely just because the gearing, being a 6-speed, is a bit wider, so it can make some sections a bit difficult. I mean, here today it's a fairly fast flowing track and to be honest, I can get away with using third kind of everywhere, pulling fourth on occasion, some of the jumps. Yeah, the 18 inch is nice. It won't kick loose like a 19 inch will as easily, unless you're in some really light stuff. Obviously 2020 and up, they ditched the Kickstarter module and they actually shifted the starter motor to the rear. I suspect that actually is partly why this generation kind of tends to suck with hot starts, as I think because the starter motor gets a bit warm in there. Whereas the 2019, it's out the front in the nice cold air. What else? Oh, the stock battery, definitely got to upgrade those. I think the Yamaha BR98 or whatever it is, they suck. So I've put a much bigger lithium battery in it. What are some other things? Radiator braces, just a nice to have. Although my ones are pretty mangled up. Yeah, what else? The suspension, it's got KYB, so you're going to be fine. It pretty much will handle anything that I can throw at it. It's quite nice because I know with the suspension I'm probably understrung, but I know I can pretty much hit sort of any sort of ditch or whatever and it'll carry me out the other side without too much hassle. I think buying these second hand, this one and even my brother's 2019, just the best thing to do really with any second hand bike is reset the suspension back to factory settings, because this one and my brother's one were both really set up weird, because most people don't understand how to set up a Yamaha to actually turn, particularly these reverse head motors. A lot of people try and stiffen up the rear and load a bunch of weight on the front to compensate, which isn't really how you set these up. In the case of this, I've made the front just a bit stiffer so I know I can hit bigger things, and I'm also a heavier dude. And I slowed the rebound down in the back so that it would actually kind of come out of corners a bit better. Yeah. So they make a decent amount of power. They make just shy of 40 horsepower, I think 38, 40 depending on conditions. It's got enough power to do pretty much anything that I want. One time I wouldn't mind a bit more power, like right now. But at the same time, I just need to learn to carry more corner speed. Yeah, pretty good bike overall. Don't think I'd ever sell it. There are times where, yeah, I definitely want a bit more power. But I can only really have one bike at the moment. Yeah. Other than that, absolutely love the thing. So, yeah. Now another thing, on the whole starter motor issue thing, one trick particularly with these, and I can't sort of speak to 2025s, I think they solve most of the starting issues anyway, is to flip the kill switch and starter buttons round. Just means you can be on the starter and twist the throttle at the same time if you need to. And the other thing is, yeah, people joke about the starter's absolutely cranking forever. Personally, I've never had this thing die on me, like in terms of starting, and even then if it did, first gear's so damn low anyway that you can practically walk beside it and crash it to start it, so it's not really a big issue. Yeah, go and carry on and rip it. Alrighty, so one cool kind of thing you can do, so if you're on the GYRT tuner app, you can kind of overlay the data from it on top of videos. It's pretty sick. Now I'm going to suck this bloody launch. Let's see, first, I absolutely suck at launches, so this bike is really hard to. God knows what gear that is. That feels good. Might have been second. Moment I'm in fourth. Take the third. Probably should have used the second gear out of that. My boot on the rear brake. Oh. I'll also put up what map I'm currently using, because the way I design mine is that the throttle's really twitchy down low. Really gives it a fixed throttle response, which is always nice.